Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Growing in Faith Farm. Stacy's going to talk to you about some tooth powder stuff that we make on the Homestead tooth powder. And of course, it's going to be holistic, good for you, and less expensive than you can get at the store if you buy stuff like that. And here we go.
Okay, so I was making our tooth powder, and I just wanted to share kind of, my recipe and a little testimony about it. I really like to make the tooth powder over the toothpaste, homemade toothpaste, because the tooth powder lasts, it just doesn't spoil or get bad. So you can make a bunch of it if you want, and it'll last a really long time. So that's my preference, and I kind of like just to get my toothbrush, a little wet, dunk it in there, put a little water in my mouth, and just brush it. It just is easier. And the other thing that's pretty neat about it, when you do make it, if you have a family, with kids especially, put it in a little container like this, and the kids can decorate their lids and do it however, so everyone knows which one their tooth powder is in. Okay? So, you can use a few ingredients. The main one that I really love, and I won't go without it, is the Bentonite Clay. Basically, Bentonite Clay is like an edible clay. It's filled with minerals. It's wonderful. It basically, when it gets wet, it activates it into this kind of supercharged thing where what it does is it draws out toxins. So the Bentonite Clay is wonderful for that kind of stuff. I know you can order online. Whole Foods has it. Some stores carry it in bulk. They might have it most health food stores will have it, but it's called Bentonite Clay. Great, great, great stuff. And what's neat about it is when it gets in the mouth, it'll of course give you the minerals and things that you need, but it also makes your mouth more alkaline. So if you would be using, versus that, commercial toothpaste, which is loaded with glycerin and fluoride and things like that, and then also artificial sweeteners, which make your mouth more acid-like. So we want to bring it back to that more alkaline type. So the Bentonite Clay is great for that. Draws out all the toxins. And then let me give you a little FYI about the Bentonite Clay. Bentonite Clay, since once it gets wet, draws out the toxins, it's great, especially on the Homestead. Let's say you get a tick bite, and I can totally say that this works great. If you get bit by a tick and you get it out right away, and it still gets that little bump on it, and and it itches it for weeks and weeks and weeks. The second you get that tick bite off, for anybody, put that Bentonite Clay with a little water on it and dab it on there, and it'll draw out all the toxins. I don't know, I just figured, because I know what it does, that it would work. Spider bites, brown recluse, anything. The second something happens, put that on, because it is wonderful. It really works, because usually when I used to get a tick bite, it would itch forever. I had one that itched for like 4 or 5 months, and it still had a bump on it. I did it, and I started using the Bentonite Clay, and it went away after a couple of weeks, the kind of itching, and the bump wasn't that big. So I love the Bentonite Clay when it comes to the bites and things like that. And I've also even put it on some poison ivy to help draw the stuff out. I don't know if it helped that much, but I do know that it really does help with bites, especially tick and spider bites. Okay? So we got Bentonite Clay, which is a big ingredient that I use in there. And then we have a sea salt. You need sea salt. A real salt that's unprocessed, unbleached, Celtic sea salt, Himalayan pink sea salt, real salt, REAL salt, Himalayan pink sea salt. Those are all great ones to pick from. And then the other thing is baking soda. So here's the baking soda, the Redmond, or Bob's Red Mill baking soda. So we got baking soda, and then I have regular salt in here, and salt. Those two are gentle abrasive. So you need those. It'll also help neutralize anything going on in the mouth. It has minerals in it, and it also will help alkalize it too. Okay? So from there, you're going to go for something antibacterial. You can add some spices into it, or herbs. So ground cloves, I love the ground cloves. So I would definitely try that one. Cloves are wonderful. Make sure they're ground, it's powdered up. Cinnamon. And then here I have some sage from the garden that I dried. So basically what I would do is use my mortar and pestle and just pulverize it up, and then put that in there too. So sage is another really good one. You could do rosemary, any of those will work, as long as they're powdered up. And then this is the one I have to have in mind, is peppermint oil. So when you make your little batches, I do 15 to 20, my husband's being silly. So 15 to 20 drops in your container that you make. So when I make it, generally I'll do 4 tablespoons of the Bentonite Clay, and I'll have Doug put all the recipes at the bottom.
No, I won't.
So 4 tablespoons of bentonite clay. And then from there, I'll do 2 tablespoons of a baking soda. And then I'll do a teaspoon of salt. And then I'll play with my herbs. So I might go cloves, I'll do a teaspoon, maybe a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then 15 to 20 drops of the peppermint oil.
On the cloves, did you tell them it was powdered cloves?
Definitely powdered, yes. Everything has to be powdered. And then you mix it up. So, and just kind of play with them and see how it tastes. Like, I'll change it up every time. Sometimes I'll just do one that's all cinnamon. Maybe I'll do 2 teaspoons of cinnamon for the whole thing. Maybe sometimes I'll mix a few together. I always like to mix the few together because I just figure, more in a group, they're all working together and it just works better. So I like to do different, my herbs. So try it like that. And then I also had someone had asked a while back about activated charcoal. Activated charcoal is a great one to add into your mix because it is a tooth whitener. So there's your whitening if you want that too. So add activated charcoal, and that's just another great thing to do. So, cayenne pepper. If you have very sensitive teeth, you can put like a little dash in here, and it helps with the gums. So I don't have sensitive teeth, and I haven't done this before, but I love cayenne. I mean, it would just give you a little zinger. If you like something spicy, go ahead and put some cayenne pepper in it. It might help. And if you have bleeding gums, I think it definitely would help that. So try that if you do have sensitive gums. All right. I also wanted to talk to you about a book, especially if you're a reader or you're just into like learning more and more how to take care of your bodies and your holistic health. Great book. It's called Cure Tooth Decay by Ramiel Nagal. I wrote it down so you can see. Cure Tooth Decay by Ramiel Nagal. Great book. Great book. It's about 200 some pages. It's a little bitty blue book. I don't have mine right now. I loaned it to somebody. But what you need to do is get this book because it tells you everything how to cure your dental problems. I have to say I have not been to the dentist in, oh my goodness, probably maybe 20 years. I mean, it's been a long time. Wouldn't you say? I mean, right? What do you think, Doug?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
What about, does he have a YouTube video?
He has a lot of, you can get on like curing tooth decay by Ramiel Nagal and find a lot of it on the internet. He has teachings on there, or get on, subscribe to him because it's wonderful. You'll learn so much, but the book is really good. And what he did basically is his daughter was young, under preschool age, and her teeth were getting spots and kind of rotting. And he just did a lot of research, and he kind of did a lot of research from the Dr. Weston Price, and he learned a lot from him. Dr. Price had traveled all over the world and noticed that what people ate made a difference on how their teeth were. Whether or not they were crooked or if they were rotting, if they had tooth decay. And these people that lived that did not have like westernized foods, and
like
they
the 4 White Devils, you mean?
like pasteurized milk, pasteurized sugar, or white sugar, white flour, and then white salts and things like that. But they were eating things like fermented grains, fermented cod liver oil, raw dairy, raw butter, the fermented grains, bone broths, and they were eating things like that were just totally making their immune system strong. So if you have good oral health, you're going to have good body health, your immune system will be strong. So all that went hand in hand. And then when these people maybe would leave and go to and become more westernized and eating the white flours and the pasteurized dairy, that things started changing and they started having teeth issues. So diet is huge. So it is a great, great book. I would definitely highly recommend it. So check that out. And I guess is that it? Try to do the tooth powders. I mean, it is so easy and wonderful, and it makes your teeth so smooth and clean. When I switched from, went from fluoride to regular good, like a natural non-fluoride toothpaste, and then I went to this, my teeth feel like sparkly pearls. So it really definitely works. I enjoy it very, very much. My mouth just feels so much better when I do it. So I challenge all of you guys to do it, to make your own tooth powders. It saves so much money. It may take a little to get used to once you do it because it's not like a regular toothpaste. Oh, here's one more thing. A lot of people put xylitol in their powdered toothpastes or their tooth powders. I don't choose to use xylitol because a lot of the research and reading that I've done on xylitol, and xylitol's in a lot of gum. I used to chew gum all the time. I totally stopped that, and you can attest to that too, right, Doug?
Yeah, because I was on you all the time about it.
Well, xylitol, in studies that they've done, that 2 pieces of gum a day, or 2 pieces of gum will kill a rat. A lot of studies that they've done. And studies also show that people who have acid reflux, it makes our acid reflux so much worse, or it may make you start getting acid reflux. It causes intestinal distress, a lot of gas, stinky gas, and if you have seizures or are prone to seizures, epilepsy, it'll make your seizures worse. So I choose not to use a xylitol just, because of those few little things. But it's your choice. If you want to use xylitol, you can, because it is a sweetener if you're used to something really sweet all the time. But the more you use this, just like anything else, it just takes a few times to taste it, and it's not that bad. I mean, I really like the way it cleans my teeth. So just check it out. Doug will put all the ingredients at the bottom, what to use, and how to use it. And let's say you don't have something. Oh, calcium powder is another one too. You could put calcium powder. I didn't have any, I ran out, so I don't have any calcium powder right now, so that's why I didn't put it in my last batch. But along with the calcium powder, you can use that because your teeth need calcium, of course. If you want to do the activated charcoal, you can do that. So just, mix and match. If you don't have anything but baking soda, try a little baking soda and some salts with some peppermint oil. So you can try lots of different ones, but the bentonite clay, I would definitely make sure that is your main ingredient. And that's all I have to talk about that. And I will see you guys so very soon. Have a great day and see you later.